Show us your tips, Daggy and Beaver, with you to get stuck into Melbourne Cup Day. How are you, Beaver?
Sensational, thanks, Daggy. Excited for Cup Day tomorrow. We'll get on the bag of fruit and head out to Randwick and have a few sherbets and have a punt.
Very good. Taking the whole family out, aren't you? So if you see
some of the young fellas and
see the
old
Beavers out there, say hello.
Everything in between.
Beautiful. Looking forward to it. One of the great sporting days of the year, of course. Who are we? We do this every week between Grant and myself. Every week for free. Bookmaker free at the moment, sponsor free. And website is free as well at the moment. You can go there and check out our tips each and every week for no cost. But of course, we've got to look at the Melbourne Cup this weekend, this Tuesday. And of the $10 million, let's start with the conditions first, Beaver. It is pissing down in Melbourne, as we were just saying. Just watching a track report, they believe the worst of it will come through this afternoon and hopeful of getting to a soft 7. Absolute best case, if they don't get the rain in the morning, we get closer to the dead in the old. But any thoughts on how the Melbourne, the Flemington track may play with the rail moving to the true?
Yeah, look, it's good to see that hopefully we're not going to get the downpour that's going to turn it into a bog. Otherwise, that would have made it extremely tricky with trying to understand how that works out. So have to watch the weather quite carefully there. But I think the track will play fairly reasonably there, at least for the Cup. Every horse will get its chance.
And what have you, let's start with it, the feature, $10 million, 3,200 metre handicap. The Melbourne Cup speaks for itself, Group 1 level. In lieu of having to do a runner-by-runner one this year, runner-by-runner preview this year, as we've done for previous websites, we'll just get stuck into our tips and maybe get an exotic or a first four from you as well, Beaver. But have at it. What have you made of this race? Have you lined up the internationals and the form lines leading into this?
Yeah, look, just to give a bit of an early overview here, bit of a mixture of, I think there's about 9 internationals that have been brought to this race, all with sort of different form lines, different levels of ability, it appears. Field, quite a jump in the difference in the weights. We've got the top weight around the 59 and the bottom weight around 51, so an 8 kilo pull in the weights there. We've got some horses backing up from previous years, and obviously some come to the Melbourne Cup for the first time. So, and probably, you look at this field, and if you looked at the markets in that a few months ago, a lot of these horses would not have featured in and about the early markets and the pre-race markets, but with a fair few horses missing or being taken out of the field, the market shifted a little bit in that sense, and some coming to the forefront with their form. I've narrowed it down probably to 5 or 6, and I'll give mine in order of there. But if we just start from the top weight here, Al Riffa coming is the overseas horse, currently sitting as second favourite in the market. By all accounts, this looks like it could potentially be the best overseas horse that has ever been brought to our shores to contest the Melbourne Cup. And we know that there's many won in the past, but it's also got to carry 59 kilos, which is no mean feat, and it's drawn off the track. But having said that, it's got the informed jockey who rode 4 on the weekend in Mark Zahra, and if Mark Zahra can ride up to his ability here, Al Riffa, if he can get the right run here, is going to figure somewhere in the finish. I would have thought, going back to its win at the Curragh Cup just recently over the 2800, won by 4 lengths and looked carrying 61.5. So we know it can carry the weight. So that looked pretty dominant type of win. Was pretty hard held. And form prior to that was also pretty good. Handles the sting out of the ground, has one on soft going, and even some of the good tracks over there are comparable to our soft. So I think this horse is an absolute genuine chance. By all accounts, has settled in well Australia, travelling well, and I've got it on top and as my main bet. My second pick is Half Yours. I think it's flying at the moment. The Caulfield Cup form is a good form for this race. This horse has continued to improve. It's been, I think its preparation for the Cup has been perfect. It won at Caulfield, 3 starts back over the 2000, brained them there, won with a leg in the air, then came out at Flemington in the McKinnon, I think it was.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty handy run there behind Sedelius, 2.5 lengths. Did what it needed to do. I don't think it was ever in that race to win. That was just a lead up, and then came out in the Caulfield Cup and got the right run and let down beautifully. And I think won with a little bit in hand. I think it wasn't fully extended there. And I think, again, it's going to be extremely hard to beat, drawn perfectly in 8. And I think if it can posse up sort of in that sort of first 6 or 7, gets the right run in transit, but somewhere around the clock tower, it's going to be letting down and being hard to beat, depending how the race is run. Looking at my other chances, I quite liked the run of River of Stars in the Caulfield Cup as well. That was nice. A nice run, sort of had to sit on the fence, got off and finished okay. And I still think that was giving something on the line. Was 90s prior to that. Its form was a bit mixed. I think at the odds, it's probably one of the better ones around the $20 mark. If you're looking for a bit of value, I think it can run really well. Another one I've got in my top selections is Passage Nocturne. It gets presented here third up. 2 starts back in France, ran a nice race over the 3,000. Come to the Caulfield Cup, pulled wide, come down the middle of the track, and was probably finishing the best of anything, I think, in that race. I think it will have improved from that. And horses, the overseas horses that come here, have the 1 start, have it in the Caulfield Cup and run that 3rd, 4th, 5th, finishing on. They do have a good record of running well in the Cup, and I think this horse could run extremely well in the Cup. It is drawn well, but the jockey don't know much about him, so they're going to have a bit of work to be done in the Sydney form. Then my other one is Makdane, horse that's hard to catch. Not sure how genuine it is, but I didn't mind the lead-up run in the Caulfield Cup. It has James McDonald going on board, which is a good pointer for me. Looks like that it'll be more suited by the bigger track, and sort of got on the wrong leg a little bit and didn't have a lot of luck and a lot of room. I think this one may be open to a bit of improvements. Drawn off the track, but again around the $23, I could put it in your multis. And Valiant King is another horse that I think can run well. It's got the right lead-up form here, albeit, and it's going much better than it did probably last prep when it ran way out of it down the track in both the Caulfield and Melbourne Cups last time in. So it has improved a lot. 1-2 starts back at long odds. Was a good run when it got the split in the Caulfield Cup. But I just get concerned about horses that have previously finished so far down in the Cup, and maybe the 3,200 is not going to be up its alley.
Yeah, not many come back and win after having a crack the first time around, do they? So, that it? No one else you can throw in? Yeah, sorry.
Look, I'll let you speak and maybe comment on a few of yours.
I am pretty close to you. I've got a bit of a feeling that the Caulfield Cup, having watched it 25 times yesterday, doing the form on this, the one thing I did notice is half yours won it every time I watched the replay. So when you're trying to match up 6 or 7 horses that had almost the same run in a slowly run Caulfield Cup, half the race is no good. But the winner won it and had something in hand, half yours, off a cosy run. That all being said, I'm putting it in for second because I agree with you. I've got I've got the top weight on top, Al Riffa. I love the booking of Zara. It gives us something up on the international jockeys who often don't come here and cover themselves in glory. I don't mind the gate. I think gate 21's been the most successful gate of the last 20 years or something. The only knock on it is top weights haven't won since Daggy Beaver, but it's not a vintage cup, and I've spent, the last 6 months bagging the staying horses, so I'm just looking for some fresh blood. I think this is a real deal. It won the lead-up race that Rekindling and a couple others have come through in Ireland there. So, and then it won the St Ledger pretty dominantly last start. All systems go. I'm putting it on top. From half yours, I think Absurd, nice tick over run, and Mullins gets it so right. He had the choice between this and another horse he sent to America that bolted in the other day, and he's saying this one's going better. I'm going to say he can run a place at a price. And Royal Supremacy down the bottom, if we get wet, is the other one. I like that Metrop form. I like the stuff that's come through around it. And again, it was one of those similar runs as the rest of the internationals, and I think it's been a bit forgotten. Handles the wet if it does get real wet too. So I predominantly going to be backing the three I've mentioned, but I'm going to throw Buckaroo, Royal Supremacy, Valiant King, One Smooth Operator, and Makdane all into a first four or an exotic play. That'll be the way I'll attack the race, Beaver. Anything else you want to touch on here?
Yeah, definitely Buckaroo is an interesting running. It's got good form at the moment, and probably it's got the Group 1 form here. Just not sure it's probably potentially got the miles in the legs. I don't know that it's a genuine 3,200, and it's got to step up from 2,000 metre runs to 3,200.
Yeah.
And again,
and you see, even those races, 2 or 3 of them were just complete walking races as well. They weren't
correct
fitness runs. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm not even sure that when it was in the market last time and expected to win the cup, whether it really ran out the 3,200. So I'm probably willing to take it on a little bit with that. I don't know that it's been prepared for this race as its main target as well. And if that's the case, then it would have to be special to win. If you ask me, carrying 57 kilos, stepping up to 3,200. I know it's coming off a decent Cox Plate run, but and got close to Via Sistina.
Yeah, I was going to say, would you back Via Sistina in this race?
Not the way it's going.
A year ago I would have, but not. Yeah.
I just don't think. I think
does that mean all that weight for age stuff is no good?
I'm not convinced that field, that Caulfield Cup race was the quality we've seen in recent years. When you look at Via Sistina the year before, when it brained them, which was outstanding, it was nowhere near that. Yes. It only just won because it was just a better horse.
Agree.
It's probably not going as good as what it could be, and that was demonstrated with Via Sistina in the previous runs. I know, again, slow run races, but you still expect those horses to probably finish closer than it did to horses like Globe. Anyway,
no, 100%.
That's my view there. But who knows? This is a field where something could blow us away from at odds. But yeah, the form does look pretty much around those in the market, and you're looking for those that have run well in the lead-ups. Yeah.
Much more to add if you're looking for, like to me, if going to throw 2 roughies out, if you're checking out just to have a couple to throw $1 each way on at a big price, it would be Royal Supremacy for me and One Smooth Operator. Do you have any outside the obvious?
The only one I would, if the rain really came, is, and I know I'm going really left field here, is Vauban. Goes really good with the sting out of the ground. So, it's been a horse that has been suggested was, once a cup favourite. Maybe it could do something out of the blue. And, it is trained by a trainer that sometimes does that. But, wouldn't be getting too excited. And then maybe something like one of the overseas further or something like that. Could be lightly raced. Only had the 8 starts. Maybe a smoky, given they've brought it here.
Beautiful. I think we've covered that off pretty well, and we will look at the other 19 races on the card on the day, with Randwick to get to a bit later on as well, the big dance and the assorted other dances happening there. We kick off from the start. We'll wind the clock back to 10:45 and start with the Maribyrnong Plate, as we always do, for the 2-year-olds. A tricky contest to kick us off here. The one I found most interesting was the combination of Waller and Lane and Godolphin diameter debuting here. It's not a race Chris Waller generally targets at all. So I think this might be a bit forward out of a 2-year-old breeding setup. And I liked it has been exposed a couple of trials now, but I did like the second trial. Really picked up and looked good through the line. Could spec that. I thought Tornado Valley, Main Danger, coming in through a brave chase on debut there, and the other strong connections, the Hayes Boys and Zara. Carnivale trailed pretty well. I'm not telling you a great deal the market isn't, but like I said, connections are very interesting kicking off the day. How do you line up the first?
Yeah, look, it's always hard to line these up.
Exactly right.
I like the trials of Carnivale. Comes from the right stable. I quite like where it's drawn, the outside of the field here in gate 13. So I think it can come down the middle of the track. Assuming that's one of the places to be. Got the right combination. Hey, Zara, and wasn't a cheap colt.
No,
at the sales,
especially not for them.
700,000.
They're not one to spend big bucks out of the blue.
Yes, and you know the second trial of its jump outs, it's led them and wasn't asked to do much in winning that. So I've got it on top, but you've always got to keep an eye out on the blue colours as you highlighted.
The second benchmark 80, 2,000 metres. What are we doing here?
Yeah, look, a tricky affair here, the 2,000 metre race. I'm going to stick with Zara Hickmore combination here in Party Crusher. Handles the soft going, had really good form over at Morphettville, and these Adelaide horses that come across on Cup Day, they have really good strike rates. It was just interesting. It looks like it's been set for this race. Was given a pretty easy time in a 1,400 metre at Murray Bridge, and then comes here to run in a 2,000 metre race, 57, Zara booked. I think it can run really well, so I've got it on top. I had the main danger as Makdane again, just on consistency, gets up, leads. You never know if these are jiggy joggies and they get to kick away, and it's going really well at the moment. And again, probably likes the sting out of the ground a bit more than the good track, so I expect it can run well as well.
Yeah, Makdane on top, best of the day for me. I've made a case for its last couple. It ran into Zimbardo last time out, and that Zimbardo's a proper horse who got the jiggy jog on it. Only got beat with the horse getting up the inside late. The one before, I think, it will either lead or take leaders back and be very, very hard to beat here. As you said, swims. Never missed the Quinella in the wet either. So lots of ticks for me. On a tricky day, one of the bets I'm keener to have. The third is, we go to 3-year-olds here, in an average 3-year-old race, 800 metre listed affair. And what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I got down to 2 here. I'm sticking with the 9 Arabian Prince. I backed it and followed it, tipped it last start at Caulfield. May have looked slightly disappointing, but it had no luck in the running. And if you go back and watch the run there, finished 6 of 8, but only just over a length off the winner. So that was pretty much a blanket go, that race. Got back, finished off okay. So, you know, a bit untested in these types of going. It's only lightly raced three starts. So I've got it on top, and I thought the main danger was obvious. Number 2, it's going extremely well as well. Won its maiden and then came to Caulfield and, you know, finished second behind Regal Award, where Regal Award just brained him. And Regal Award was pretty good on the weekend, only beaten by a very nice horse in Panova. So if it can repeat that and maybe improve a little bit, at $11 I'd be saving on it.
I've gone with different gravy on top. Zara again. I liked the run behind Freedom Flame, who goes okay over in Adelaide. I like the fact it's had an 800 metre run, and I think this race is pretty average, to be honest. The concern is, again, gate 15, I think it'll go back, and there might be no pace in this. Couldn't work out what to do with the Gay Bot horse Champagne Hero because it hasn't shown any pace, but Blake Shin, I feel, might give it a boot and try and get up there, because I think leading is going to be a good place to be in this one, because I don't know how many chases there are. A horse like A2 over the price will go forward. I thought it might be worth some value here, looking away from that, and definitely wasn't knocking the Arabian Prince form, as you've pointed out. The fourth is 3-year-old 1,000 metre race this time around, and I have gone looking for the Sydney form here in Peloton. It's taken a while to get back to its best, but I thought that was a good race, a good run last time out behind Sky Glider. Not necessarily the rest of the field, but those two are decent horses, and I think can springboard off that. J-Mac up the straight. I don't think it's any good thing, because you start getting a bit scared of these ones down the bottom. They've just had the 1 or 2 starts and will improve. I thought, horses like Winter and Choir Point can be a little bit spooky here, but I'm going to get back J-Mac to get on the board early in Cup Week. What are you doing?
Yeah, look, I hear your argument, and it's fair, but at $2.70, I'm going to steer clear of Peloton. I just thought it
Understand?
was a
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
skinny, given that it's only won one of seven, and some of the recent runs, it was okay the last one, but yeah, look, it's form. Interesting, Friedman's brought it here. Must think it's a good chance, but I'm willing to go around that. I'm going for something a little bit more value. I'm going number 9, Bold Secret, from the Stokes stable. Same sort of look here. It's only had the 2 starts. First start was at Flemington back in July and was less than a length. Nice run, finishing third behind Shining Smile, which is quite a reasonable form race. And then first up here at Moonee Valley was 5th. Wasn't suited by the tight track. Wasn't the worst run going around, and I think it'll be suited here by down the straight around the $10. And the Main Danger Street Artist, I'll be saving on it. Been impressive. The last 2 wins, one at Bendigo at very short odds, one there, and prior to that at Mornington. So might have a little bit of ability coming from the other Freedman stable.
Lovely. We go to the 2,800 metre race, the Benchmark 96 Heritage Cup. What are your thoughts on this one?
Holy crapoli.
Yeah.
This is always one of the hardest races of the year. I've narrowed it down to 2.
It's always good when you get the other international just lob here and you can back it, but we don't have one this year.
Yeah, that's right. They usually have one that's kind of stands out here. Again, I've gone for the Adelaide horse that they've brought here, Aruga Mama.
Yep.
Around the $6.50. Sort of been working up to this distance. 5 starts. This will be at 6 this prep. Looking for this distance now. One easy as a shorty at Morfettville last start. That was a good win. Yeah, I think it can run really well here, and comes from a stable that's quite good at training these types of stayers. I added it on top. Main Danger, Lit Steel. Again, that was a good run last start, finishing second at Caulfield. Prior to that has been fairly consistent and has also won over in Adelaide as well earlier this year. So I think those 2 hold the key.
Beauty. I've gone away from you. I've gone for the grey and the wet. Actually, I think I'm about to tip a few greys next few races. But Don Diego de Vega comes through the Metrop, and I thought was a decent enough run in the Geelong Cup. Gets Mickey D inside gate by this time of the day maybe concerns me. I'm also waiting for Mickey D to do something this spring, but I'm going to go with it each way. From Golden Century, who will run well enough and not knocking the Adelaide form next best. Farrago is an absolute wet tracker. Should we get a complete bog? But I don't know if it's going to be that bad. Flemington's holds up pretty well. The 6, the Itchy Barn Plate, 1,800 metres, and a tricky race for mine because I'd sort of like all 4 in the market here. I've ended up putting Athanatos on top. I think it does need another win, but every run has had merit here against some pretty good horses. Close up behind Transatlantic and Evaporate speaks for itself. Its last 2 starts, I think this is a nice enough drop in grade, so we'll give it a chance here to start pushing wider out in the track. St George was a good resumption, Main Danger for me, and I really like Apulia as a horse, and I have liked Kingswood as a horse. I think they're alive, but that's the order I'll put them in as stated. What are you doing? Oh, just on mute, mate.
Sorry, mate. I'm going Apulia. I liked its first up win there at
So do I.
Moonee Valley. That was a race where, the track had been sort of more favouring leaders, and it came from back and absolutely catapulted down the middle of the track. Drawn gate 12, so it's going to probably go back a little bit here and look to do a similar thing. Again, coming from the right yard, I think it can run well. Closely followed by Kingswood. I think it gets now to a better race, a more suitable race here. Hopefully the track is not too soft because I don't think it handled the Rosehill going that well when it was a little bit soft last start. So bit of concern there, but I think it can run well.
Yeah, my concern, like I said, I really like Apulia as a horse. Both it and St George are coming off great resumptions off long spells, so I was a little bit scared of the old second up one. We've been over the Melbourne Cup, the 8th. kicks off the 1,400 metre last 3 races. This one is the Amanda Elliott listed race for the 3-year-olds. Beaver, what are we doing here?
Yeah, look, I'm going to stick here with Ludlum from the Beg stable. Only had the 2 starts. The latest win was a very good one, winning its maiden, obviously stepping up here, but put pay to Shigui, who has come out and won since, won by a couple of lengths. Beg generally has these horses up and running and they go pretty good. I've got it on top. Probably hardest to beat is the Cash, who's ultra consistent, going well at the moment, jumps out, pretty much bomb proof. It'll be hard to beat, but I'm hoping that Ludlum can run over it in the last 100.
I like the price here around the Snowden runner, Grand Prairie. I thought it did some decent stuff over the winter. I know the Ming Dynasty is a little bit tainted, but the trial since is beautiful. It's double figures. It was tangling with the likes of Skyhook and co, who would all stack up pretty well in this race. So going to take the double figures around it. I thought Navy Pilot just gassed out, didn't run the mile in the Caulfield Guineas. Back to 1,400 metres will suit it. And yeah, not knocking yours either, because I think it's got plenty of upside. The next up, we stick to 1,400 metres again. The Hong Kong Jockey Club Stakes. Beaver, what are we doing in this one?
Pretty keen on the favourite here from the Waterhouse stable, Surf and Bird. This looks like one of the better bets on the card here. It'll jump and run. 1,400 is perfect. Won quite convincingly last start at Caulfield. It's won its last 3, and I see no reason it can't continue on its winning way in a very winnable race here. What do you think?
Yeah, on top for me. I was all teed up to get stuck in and bag it, but this race sucks. Most of these horses will be at the Broodmare sale next year. It's found the right one to come to a listed race and be right in the finish. I like the fact T. Clark's come down to jump on. Main danger, I'm giving Fancify one more start, hard fit third up, handles the wet, and sat outside lead at Murray Bridge. Forgive that because Murray Bridge is a shithole. It will improve and it will be a great horse to throw into your exotics. And I don't think there's much else I'd even entertain, to be honest, because I don't think Gumdrop's handles are wet. Nice gap in the market for you there if it goes around. The last is a 1,400 metre benchmark 90, and well, for the second time, Sabaj has come up short in a race, and for the second time, I've scratched my head and moved on. And I'm going to back 2 here in the last at around the $8 price. One is Ndola. I think the pennies finally dropped. It showed plenty of promise early and have taken a while to get it back to its best, but I really liked its last start win against a few of these, including including a couple of horses that are currently shorter than it. I thought it was pretty strong there. And the other one I was going to make a case for is Persian Spirit. Very nice win up the straight, and then went to Geelong behind Stolly Bolly and ran pretty well. Ran as well as it could have, I think. Last day, coming down the outside on Cup Day, should get through the wet pretty well and is a fantastic each-way finish to the day. What are you doing?
One of the better bets of the day is Sabaj.
Okay.
You might think it's skinny, but it's got Zara on board. And if you go back and watch that last run, good run. Very good run.
Is the race any good is the question behind
What's
linebacker.
that?
Is the race any good? The linebacker race?
Look, linebacker started second favourite behind Autumn Glow. So obviously they thought there was some decent form in that race. It's as good as probably any form that is around some of the horses in this race. It was first up. It was given no chance. Didn't get clear in the Silver Eagle to the last 100 or so. And if you look at the way it hit the line there, it was hard held. That was a barrier trial. It'll be in the finish here. This has a bit of ability, this horse. I'm keen it can run well. Not interested in too much else.
Judy, cool. You're in charge of the Melbourne Cup quaddie, Beaver, so have at it.
Thank you, sir. In no particular order, starting with the Melbourne Cup, which is the first leg, race 7. I'm going number 1, Al Riffa. Number 14, Half Yours. Number 6, Presage Nocturne. Number 21, River of Stars. Number 8, Makdane. And 1 at odds, number 17, Further. In my second leg, which is race 8, I'm going number 15, Ludlum, number 4, the Cash, number 8, Burma Star, and number 3, Grand Prairie. In the third leg, which is race 9, I'm going number 15, Surf and Bird, number 1, Fancify, and number 3, Dance to the Boom. And to finish off, pretty keen, we've got the winner here in Sabaj, but I'll also chuck in the 7, Sunshine in My Pockets, and number 12, Persian Spirit.
Beautiful. Your best and value for Flemington?
Yep, my best bet is race 10, number 8, Sabaj. I think it's going to be super hard to beat. And my value bet comes up in race 6, number 2, Apulia.
Beautiful. Race 2, number 3, Makdane. It'll be winning. And my value, race 8, number 3, Grand Prairie. As we head to Flemington for the big dance card here, we'll try and whip through this. Randwick, we just did Flemington. As we head to Randwick for the Sydney equivalent, where the rail goes out. Better bring up Randwick, that'll help. 4 metres, 950 the winning post, 2 metres remainder. It's been nice and hot and dry, so I think it looked like it played really heavy on Saturday, didn't it? But I think it should dry it all right. We've got northwest winds, so we'll see how much cover we need to get there throughout the afternoon. And we're going to kick off with the Midway Beaver, benchmark 70, 1,800 metres. How are we going to start the Randwick day?
Yeah, I think number 4 here, Natoya from the Sargent stable, came from New Zealand, had 3 nice runs here, finally breaking through at Newcastle last start over the 1,600. I think the penny might have dropped here and comes to the Sydney meeting and should be winning the first.
On top for me as well. Talent Animal, ran into some good horses too in Ruination, and Perfect Play's been a Metro horse most of its life as well last start, but it is a great way for a go-to jockey on the card here, Jason Collett, to kick off. Oceanfront is the value in the race. I've liked both its last couple of wins against similar opposition pretty much. They were the 2 main ones that interested me. I had a couple of looks at Kashmir off being pulled up last time out and getting control here, but 4 from 3 predominantly for me in the first. Second, we've got the 1,000-metre highway, an awful race that I don't want to take $1.85 about the favourite, but it'll probably win. I'm effectively in market order. I'm not going to add much more to that, apart from sneezing. So you take it away. And you're on mute.
I can't go past the favourite here. It's got the 62-kilo top weight. It gets a couple of kilos with the apprentice on board. Drawn 5's perfect. Comes from a highway, but coming from down the highway from Brisbane, where it's ran its races at Eagle Farm and Doomben, and has won at Randwick before in a good quality race. Beating's probably better horses that are here. I think it'll be hard to beat, and while you're taking odds on, I think you can get the chockies.
Beautiful. The third is a benchmark 84. What are we doing over the 1,200 metres? Yeah,
pretty tricky affair here, but I'm going to go for number 5, Money Team. I think it was scratched from the weekend to save for this, which I did give it a chance in such a race. So interesting, it's been saved for this. Based on that, I'm thinking it can run well here in an interesting field, and got a bit of a close eye on Carbonatus from the Hay stable that comes here resuming.
Yep, same for me. I've put Carbonatus on top. It's a horse I've always had an opinion of, and the last 2 trials are very good. The Hayes horses seem to get backed every time they come to Sydney. Some of them start short. But I think it's Talent Animal. Money Team is the obvious favourite, and I'm not knocking it. I think they were the only 2. I was sort of against Midnight Opal. There was a nothing happening run first up, I thought. I don't know, it's a weird horse, so I'll just move on. The fourth, a 1,300-metre benchmark, 64. I didn't spend a great deal of time on this one, given there's another 19 races to bet in over the day, but I thought that Tasseray Fresh at about $9 was interesting here. I thought it put in some good stuff fresh last time before they stretched out a little bit, and the trials have been fairly reasonable, so I'll put it on top for the sake of the price. And I know you had an opinion of Miles of Glory last time out. Are you sticking there?
I am going to stick there.
It did start favourite over Panova. actually, in that race.
Yeah, that's right. And was 3 lengths off them. Then if you look at Panova's run on the weekend, it beats Regal Award fairly easily. Like it was hard held when it went to the line, and they streeted the others. So based on that, you've got to think it's a good chance. Around the $7.50, I think it can run well. And a couple of others at decent odds, a Query from the Wallace Stable and Mars Blue Willow, both $11. I think they can run well.
The feature on the card is the Big Dance, a mile race here worth, I think it's $3 or $4 million. What are we doing?
Yeah, there's a long tail here.
There is indeed.
Pretty tricky. I'm going to go with Gringotts. $3, $3.10 is about as short as I'd want to take. Finished second behind Headley Grange last start. Big change in a little bit of a change in the weights, but also the barrier draw. One's got 5, one's got 16, and Gringotts is now third up. So sort of preparation's been a bit hindered here, but now gets third up here, over the 1600, can settle just off the pace here, and Headley Grange is going to be giving it a bit of start. I wouldn't say it's not without a chance, but it jumps a little bit in weight, 3 kilos, and may just have to give Gringotts the bigger start here. I've got them 2 on top, but the other one in the market, Tabby Time, has run well in this race before.
I've flipped them because I like the wide gates at Randwick Mile. And Headley Grange did give it a start and a beating last time out. I think the horse is a better horse than I originally gave it credit for, to be honest. So I've flipped them. I think they're the 2 main hopes. I won't rehash it. I think Gringotts, gate 5, Nash is going to give it absolute perfect run and is the obvious favourite. And the only other horse I even considered is Vivier, who's finally broken through, maybe can put a couple together. But I think there's a gap after these 2 favourites here. The 6th is the 1,300-metre barn dance. So we've got a bit of a glorified highway. And I'm going to go with Chidiac on top here. Covered ground in the Kosciuszko and ran quite well there. Probably as well as it could have under the circumstances. No weight, apparently. Coming in here with 52 kilos. And my only concern was gate 3, whether it just gets shuffled a bit back for the apprentice. I thought Ticklebelly is worth some thoughts at a price. Coming off some metro runs and will lead this back to highway grade. And So You Pence will run well again. Similar sort of run to the horse I tipped coming through that race here. I was against the favourite just given the 1, the rider, and 2, the inside draw. I think she might get lost there. Shuffled back and she's just got a bit of a job to do. So happy to take her on given she's so short. What are you doing, Beaver? Going to tip this Gallant Star?
Yeah, I am going to tip Gallant Star. You're right. Bit of a job to do here, but I think it's just clearly the best horse in this race. That was a good run behind Clear Thinking, who I've got a huge opinion of. Last start, being first up. And if you go back to its form last preparation, it was pretty good as well. You go back, it ran a nice race at Scone, went in the market behind the instructor, only just got beat behind Cool Jakey at Hawkesbury. And then prior to that, ran 4th in a race won by Know Thyself, which is another very good horse where it started favourites. I think this horse is going okay, and in a pretty weak field, I think it can run well. Main danger, Listomania, but has to overcome the gate 19.
Yeah. But I think Jay Collett just looked really quite interesting in this race. But we'll move on to the Little Dance. It is over the mile, and this is a weird race, mate. What do we do? I turned it upside down and inside out just when you know it. Don't know. Have you got an opinion?
I don't. I've got no idea here. This is just a really difficult race. I went for, I don't know why, but I went for Hollywood Hero, just Bjorn Baker factor. It's drawn okay. Second up might improve. First up was only 2.5 lengths behind Kirk Whalen that bolted in there, carrying 59 kilos, gets back to 56 here. I don't know, maybe it can run well. I won't be having a big bet in this race.
I put Belvedere Boys on top. Half because Nash is on it, half because I thought it won at Paul Macquarie there against Age of Sail, and the run a couple back was quite good in town as well. Went to the Solar Spain race at Newcastle and ran okay there. As good a chance as any. It's weakest race Osipenko's been in for a while, but it is Osipenko, so I don't know. Hollywood Hero sort of was the other one I spent a fair bit of time on. The first up run was fine, but maybe fine's enough in this race. Yeah, we'll save the rest for the quaddie, I suppose. The 8th is 1100 metre benchmark 100, and I'm a bit keener here. I'm going to have something unaccredited. I think she's a little ripper. This horse, or he's a little ripper. I like the trials. I like the form all through last prep, and fresh looks good. So it's on top for Jay Collett. I thought she's an A-lister, presented some decent value here, and Zazu will go on the quaddie as well, resuming fresh because I just didn't quite know what to do with it. I thought it was a full knockout shot because some of these, it feels like a knockout shot race, to be honest. I'm just going to throw a few of them in. I was a little bit disappointed in Zealously last time, but this race is probably okay for it. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm surprised you're a bit disappointed in it. Only got nabbed on the line by
it was outside lead, wasn't it? Yeah, that's true.
And the second thing, GG's Mistruth, I think, who came out and ran second again after that, right? So it looks as though that form is okay. I think he can run well in what is not an overly strong race. I think you're right. Accredited is a fairly consistent and goes pretty good. I was probably a little bit disappointed last prep with accredited.
There was those last two races. It really should have won, I thought. Well, I think we were talking it up to win, but yeah.
So, look, it's fresh here, can run well. I just led to Zealously. Just think it's third up and sort of fits the map that I like.
I feel like if any favourite's going to get truckloaded at Randwick, that might be the one on a day where you're looking for bits and pieces all day, aren't you, really? 1500 metre benchmark 88. This is another bits and pieces setup. What are you doing with this?
Yeah, wasn't really 100% sure here. I'm going to stick with number 11, Formal Display. I had it on top. Thought it could run well. All the runs in this time in have been pretty good. Probably jumps and leads here. Maybe Rock Empire takes it on. Not quite sure who will take it up here, but if not, it'll be on the pace. This has a lot of depth to it, a long tail, not a lot of depth to it. I thought the 3 in the market held the key. I'm just going to go Formal Display on top from the Nisham stable.
I'm giving Way Marie one more chance. Caught 3 wide first up. Tom Marquand jumps on him just because it's gate 2. I feel like it's going to get a camp here on the 2 you'd mentioned there on the pace. It's as much because I've got a bit out of it lately than as anything else. But it has spent its time in some pretty low races down south. Formal Display, for the reasons you've mentioned, I think it's a live chance. So that's 2 stablemates here. I think there's a tail. I think the other 2 in the market, the only other 2 I'll even consider come the quaddie. And the last, the other 2 even being well-timed and Rock Empire. 1,000 metres finishes off, benchmark 84. I hope we're in front. Going to put Wonder Reach on top. No luck at all first up. It's gone back and had a tick over trial. Jay Collett in the last. I think hopefully can bounce back off that. I'll put it on top from South of India and Bundina, the other 2 Saturday horses. The rest of these are not. So that's the way I saw the end of the day. What have you done, Beaver?
I absolutely had no idea here.
Excellent.
I found this extremely hard because I was just trying to work out the map. It's 1,000 metres. They're going to go quick. You've got South of India, Frilled.
Sunrise probably goes through, yeah.
Sunrise.
There was a time where Frilled would have led this on her ear, but she's just gone.
Who's that?
There was a time where Frilled would have just walked around in this race, but it's a long time ago now.
A couple of preps ago when it was down in Melbourne and stuff, it was flying, but hasn't quite produced some of that form. So quite unsure of where it goes from gate 1. I thought it might have bustled up. For that reason, I've settled on Durova, purely because it's won 4 starts. There's pace. It's going to come from off midfield. It's got gate 9. By this time, I think they'll be coming down the middle of the track. And winning form's good form in these types of races. So I put it on top. As I said, not with a lot of confidence, but that's the way I've gone.
No, fair enough. I just saw Dubbo, Tamworth, Canterbury, Dubbo, and moved on.
Yep. But when they bring him to Sydney and they've got that form sometimes.
Exactly. And 1,000 metres is okay for that too, I will say. Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't worry me as much.
No, exactly. So understand. The quaddie. First leg, 1 Osipenko, 2 Belvedere Boys, 3 Grabini, because why not? 5 Hollywood Hero and 15 Little Beginnings. I might even swap Grabini for Asgarda, actually. Second leg, 2 Estadio Mestea, 5 Accredited, 6 Zazu, 8 Zealously, and 12 She's an A-lister. Third leg will go 6 Well Time, 7 Rock Empire, 8 Way Marie, and 11 Formal Display. And we'll come home with 1 South of India, 2 Wonder Reach, 4 Bundina, and I'll throw your horse in because you've done a fair enough job today, Beaver. 8 Derova. Do I have a best? What was my best? What was your best in value while I think about this?
My best is going to be race 2, number 1, Petticoat. Going to try and get some money early there. And my value is race 4, number 17, Miles of Glory.
Okay. Value, race 5, number 2, Headley Grange. And what was the one I said I'm keen to back? I can't remember. Shows how well I'm paying attention here. We'll go in them first, actually, in the midway. Race 1, number 4, Natoya, save on Oceanfront, if you are so inclined and the market lets us. That's how I'll play there. Is there anything else going wrong in the rest of Australia? Surely they're holding other meetings in Queensland.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
11 races in Eagle Farm, okay.
Yeah, they're going everywhere. I've got a few at Eagle Farm. Did okay on the weekend in Brizzy again. Race 2, number 9, Balance the Books. A little bit short, but you'll get some money in the kitty again for your Cup Day. Race 6, number 1, Sir Lamorak is going to be hard to beat. And then in the 8th race, number 3, Irama can run well.
Beautiful. I haven't looked elsewhere. Actually, just quickly more.
Probably
for the best. There's a 400 meetings on. Race 7, number 4, Saturday will run well in Adelaide. There you go. All right, that'll do. Get this up. Thanks, punters. We'll be back. I'll sort something out for Oaks Day. It'll just be Flemington because no Hawkesbury. And then we'll be back Saturday for the, whatever that, I think V16 is in action, whatever, Champions Mile or whatever it is at the end of the carnival. The old McKinnon, whatever they call it now. All right, it's enough waffle. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Leave your thoughts and comments below, and we'll do it all again later in the week. Catch ya.
Sounds good.